welcome to my second ever YouTube video. My name is Charlie. Welcome to my channel. This channel, if you are new to it, is all about bulimia, me sharing my experiences of the illness and also of recovering from the illness, the recovery process itself, and also life now that I have recovered. Life as a normal person without this horrible monster on my shoulder, breathing down my ear every second of every day, making me do things that I really did not want to do. So if you are struggling right now, this video is for you. If you are in a place where you are finding yourself lying to everyone around you about what you are doing, where you are going, whether or not you're binging and purging, I am here to tell you, you don't have to be that person anymore. I was that person, right? This is the topic that I really want to address with today's video, and I'm not gonna lie, I've recorded this like at least 10 times so far, because it's a really hard topic for me to talk about, and when I get into it a bit more, I think you'll understand why. So the topic I really want to talk about today is lies, the lies that you have to tell while you're bulimic in order to cover that up. Because I think every bulimic's biggest fear is getting busted and people finding out what you are really doing, how you are spending your time. Because let's face it, like, the things that we do in order to maintain our disorder are pretty fucked up. I would sneak out of my house at 11 o'clock at night when I had flatmates. I'd walk to whatever shop was open. I would spend like between 10 and 20 pounds on just whatever crap that I fancied binging on that night. Sneak back to my house. I'd generally start eating on the way. Before I'd gone out, if I was being clever about it, if I was organised, I would eat something like some kind of marker so I could tell when I was throwing up, when I'd got everything out of my stomach. So yeah, I would sneak out of my house late at night, go to the supermarket or whatever shop was open, buy a ton of crap, start eating it on the way home, on the walk home, sneak back into the house, like, hope to God that my housemates weren't around. And this is taking me off on a little side note. This is one of the things that really made me dislike myself. And dislike is not a strong enough word. Like, I hated myself. I loathed myself because I had become this person who would arrive home from work and like pray to God that her housemates weren't there, purely so I could go to the kitchen and start binging and have that privacy to consume the entire contents of the fridge and all my housemates' food, most likely, and then go and puke it up and not have to worry about getting caught or anyone hearing me puking or anything like that. And this, you know, it wasn't just the case with housemates. This was the case with friends, with family, with relationships. I would find myself like wanting and wishing for the people that I loved and cared for to be out of the way and not there, or just to like leave, so that I could get on with my business and feed the disorder. Yeah. You can probably see why this is a bit of a hard topic for me to talk about, because I don't know who of these people will be watching this, and it's something that I still haven't really spoken to many people about from home. I've had a lot of really supportive messages from people since I've started talking about all of this stuff, but it's not something that I ever really spoke about in person with any of the people that I'm kind of making indirect reference to in this video, and you will know who you are as well. So yeah, the things that like maintaining this disorder make you do, they're disgusting, they're not attractive. Like, after, like, if I managed to sneak into the house with however many bags of food, I would lock myself in my room put on some loud music so that they couldn't hear packets rustling, things like that, because I'm desperately afraid of them finding out. So yeah, I would put on some loud music in my room, eat all of the food just in like a trance. Like, this is one of the things like about bulimia, like you don't even enjoy the food, like you enjoy the rush that you're getting from it, and that high is like not likenable to any other high I've ever felt in my life. And I'm someone who's chased a lot of highs. Yeah, I've experimented with many different ways of getting high and numbing myself and shutting down and shutting out my feelings. And to this day, I've never found a way that is as effective and as powerful as binging. So like I was saying, you don't even taste the food. You feel the high, but you don't taste the food, and it's just like, you just consume it in this zombie-like trance, this frenzy. You know, as fast as you can, just like shoveling things down your throat, you're barely tasting it, all the while despising yourself for doing it, and like every bone in your body doesn't want to, but at the same time, you're so freaking addicted that it's like you have no choice. It's not like you have no choice, you have no choice. Once you succumb to that urge, to that desire, and like once it starts, you cannot stop. So yeah, I'd be sitting alone in my room at like, I don't know, 10, 11, midnight, whatever time of day. Like, I did not discriminate. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I would binge and purge any time of any day. But nighttime was good because I was less likely to get busted, less likely to get found out. If I didn't feel like it was safe to go and puke in the bathroom, I'd just puke in a bucket in my room, and then go and empty that bucket early in the morning when I knew that no one would find me out. I've done that countless times in several flat shares, actually. It's not just limited to one. Yeah, so like the lengths that you go to maintain this disorder and to keep up your behaviours and to keep from being found out are really extreme. It really breaks my heart when I think of all the times that I have lied to my best friends' faces, my mum's face, other family members, like acquaintances, colleagues. It really, really, really brings me pain and sadness, and still, like to this day, a lot of trauma and a lot of shame and embarrassment and guilt when I think of all the people that I lied to and that horrible human being that I'd become. My web of lies was intricate and it engulfed everyone around me. I was so desperate to keep up this facade of like the skinny girl who was like always happy and like laughing and could eat whatever she wanted and never gained weight, and like I've always been like the funny one, the talkative one, like the clown, like I was always the joker of the office, like the kind of the life and soul of the party. And I was so desperate for people not to find out the broken being that I was inside, the mess of a person that I had become, who was like throwing my guts up 20 times a day and spending far too much of my time with my hand down the toilet bowl, sifting through my vomit to see what came up. I didn't want people to see that. Like it was my biggest fear to be found out to be that person. And so I just lied to everyone. And that in itself created such a wedge. Like it wasn't even a wedge, it was like a giant wall between me and everyone else. Like everyone. I cannot describe the impact this had on my personal relationships and my ability to connect with people and maintain friendships. Like partly because I would be sat across the dinner table from someone, half engaging with them, but also half just wanting them to shut the fuck up so that I could get out of there, either throw my guts up or continue my binge and then go and throw my guts up in the supermarket or a pub toilet or the street or something. I did not give a fuck. Like I've lost count of the number of times that I have purged in a public bathroom with other people in full earshot, like just not giving a shit. I've thrown up in the middle of the street before, many, many times. Like, I did that at night. I never did that in the daytime. But I did it at night. And I think, so I think all these things are painting a pretty colourful and accurate picture of the kind of person that I'd become. I would sneak off from, like, family gatherings, lie that I had to go to the shop or something to buy, like, a Diet Coke or I don't know. I would fabricate. I'd fabricate some lie of why I had to get away so that I could go and buy food and binge and purge. And I did that with events I went to with friends as well. Like if I remember one time I went to London, and I was meeting up with some of my best friends, and this had been a planned meetup for many months, and I snuck off halfway through. I lied and said I had to go and meet a friend who I'd met travelling 2 years before, for a coffee. Like, that's quite clearly bullshit. Like, that's not the kind of thing that you do, you know? Especially not the kind of thing that I would do. But nevertheless, I came up with this, this lie, and yeah, what really breaks me, and I've spoken about this in all of the other attempts all of the other attempts at this video, but what I haven't spoken about and what I feel is necessary to say now, is that, like, I think my friends knew what was going on, and it's really hard for me to admit that. But when I can see their faces. Like, I have a photographic memory. I have an accurate picture of when this was happening. I can see their faces, and I'm fairly sure they knew exactly what I was doing. And that just, like, exponentially increased the amount of shame and the amount of guilt that I felt. That they knew that I was, like, so fucked up and in such a dire state that I had to lie to their faces, their innocent faces, and go and sneak off when I hadn't seen them in months for like an hour or 2 hours, so that I could go to the supermarket, buy a ton of food that I didn't need, and go and hide in a disabled toilet in a cafe, shove it all into my face as quickly as I could, and then vomit it all into the toilet, and go back to them feeling lightheaded and barely able to make conversation because my blood sugar levels have plummeted so much. Like, this is the kind of person that bulimia makes you into. This is the kind of thing that it makes you do. It wasn't just friendships that it messed up. I lied to my mum's face as well. It really broke my heart that we'd go out for dinner together every week. Like clockwork, she would make a huge effort to come in and see me. I would sit across the table from her, probably be half drunk by the time I turned up, because I hated myself, and yeah, if I wasn't at work, I was generally tipsy. So I'd be half drunk by the time I turned up. I would order like so much food, eat 3/4 of what was on the table, swear to my mum, like on my life, that I wasn't gonna throw up, and then I would either go and throw up in the bathroom in the restaurant and come back and see this like half-pained look on her face, because I think she, like, deep down she knew that I was still not well, but at the same time she was my mum and she didn't want to believe it. So I would lie to her, I would break her heart, and then I would often sneak off after we'd said goodbye, and this is really difficult for me to talk about. But I remember when I'd say goodbye to my mum, like I'd give her a hug goodbye, and like just the way that she held me, and the way that she had her arms around me, and the way that she looked at me, like there was so much sadness in her eyes, and I felt so fucking guilty, because I knew that I was destroying her with what I was doing, and the lies that I was telling. But I could not stop. I was powerless. And I would promise her that everything was okay, and then I would go straight to the supermarket, like run there, like my life depended on it, fill up my basket, meanwhile have like such strong anxiety about someone busting me. Like, I was always afraid of running into someone I knew in the supermarket and getting busted. They would know what I was doing with all that junk food at that skinny weight. It would be obvious. Yeah, I would like run to the supermarket after we'd said goodbye, stock up on more junk food, and binge all the way home. Either puke in the street or in a pub. Like, I wasn't fussy, like I've said. But that's one thing that really breaks my heart is, yeah, those memories of my mum's face when I would assure her that everything was okay, and she could quite clearly see that everything was everything but okay. I hope by sharing some of these things, if you're struggling right now, and the things that I am sharing, the memories I am revealing with you are striking a chord and feeling kind of similar to things going on in your own life right now, if you are lying to everyone around you, if you are pretending to be someone or something that you're not, the purpose of this video is for me to tell you that it's completely possible for you to ditch this. You can stop lying, and life when you don't have to lie to everyone around you is so much better. You can be honest and open and authentic and engage with people. You can enjoy dinner with people without being like, oh my god, when are they gonna leave? You can, there's just a whole world of possibilities that open up to you when you don't have to spend so much of your time and energy covering up and engaging in your disorder. And that is what this video is about. I'm going to wrap it up here because I've already gone on for quite a long time. But I hope this video helps some of you. I hope it's encouraging. I hope it's inspiring to you to recover. It is so worth it. The most hardest thing, the most difficult thing I ever did, but also the most worth it. Okay. Take care of yourself. Goodbye. Please leave a comment down below. I will get back to you.